Warning, 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 warning. This is a Emergency Broadcast. Code Red, Code Red, Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You're listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Him is the Star Show uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 370. Here we are. And this is the Friday night. So let's kick those phones kicking and let's get going here.
Yeah.
We've got the TikTak that I'm looking at myself. So I got a TikTak showing myself at myself.
Yes.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Uncle's showing himself to himself.
That's what I just said. So I can't.
I know. I'm just pointing out how right you are, of course.
Well,
so what we're doing.
Where's our drinks?
Well, I've got a water, Uncle. What do you have? You don't have a water with you?
No.
You didn't bring a beer up here?
I was going to.
I don't think we really have anything to review, at least.
No, there's nothing to review. I just wanted something to drink.
But we're live on the Achille Radio Network, as always, on Friday night at this time slot, 8 p.m. for us on the Pacific end of things. But if you're on the East Coast, it's 11 p.m. or anywhere in between. We are, Uncle was referencing the TikTok. Hello, everybody who's on TikTok. It looks like we've got Preston, Dean, someone named Preston on there. Someone named Ronald just joined. Hello. What you're watching if you're on TikTok is we're doing a behind the scenes. Look at the behind the scenes stuff we're doing.
Well, behind the scene, he's running around with this phone, and I'm trying.
What is this, Uncle?
I'm trying to talk to my phone, and you're moving it around.
Okay, talk to
him. Why
him.
you stop talking and moving my phone around?
Uncle,
I'm trying to talk to my phone.
Let Uncle talk directly to the phone.
Let
Hello, phone.
Let Uncle do his thing for a minute. Let me tell the audience that they can call in at 319-527-5016. Got to get that number out. 319-527-5016. And you can join right in on the conversation and whatever goes on here during the Uncle Hour. Thank you.
This is the TikTok showing picture.
Yeah, be careful with that thing, Uncle. If you get too wrapped up in it, you're gonna have the brain effect where the brain is gonna take you over. So we appreciate our TikTok people, but if you want the real show, you're gonna have to go to the YouTube link or go to Achille.com.
There's our phone call. Just a minute, sidekick. I'm talking now. You had your hour.
Tell him.
Okay, now we have this caller who's on this line, and go cooking. Go cooking.
Go cook on.
Let's go.
Hey, sidekick, are you good?
I feel great. Is this Chris? We got Chris on the line?
This is Chris, yeah.
Hey, he was on last hour. Just a moment here. This man was, I heard you now.
Oh.
I heard you on his.
He's on to you, Chris.
I'm catching up with you.
Look out. Is it okay that Chris calls into restrooms, Uncle?
I apologize. But, Uncle, can I ask you something?
What's that?
Did you see the preview for the new Superman movie coming out in July?
No, not yet. It's a new one? Oh.
There's a new one, a brand new one. Yeah.
So, now that we have this conversation about these new Superman things, now that I go back to it, who would be the actor now?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know?
He's an unknown guy named Cornsworth, I think was his last name. I can't remember his first name, but he might do it justice. I don't know. I can't quite say Christopher Reeve caliber, but I don't know. I'm willing to give him a shot.
Okay.
Well, nobody can beat Christopher
Very
Reeve,
confidence there from Chris.
Let's see what happens.
A new Superman actor. Corn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look into it if I ever can get my things on with Mrs. Sidekick to put on my stuff. What is it on?
David
It's gonna come out in the
Corn.
movie theater.
David Corn Sweat.
Oh, it's a movie theater.
Yeah, it's a movie theater. David Corn Sweat. CORENSWET. So I guess that's Corn Sweat. I guess.
Oh, yeah. Corn Sweat.
Something corn.
An odd name, but you know what? He looks like he could have something there. Just like Christopher Reeve was an unknown when he got cast as Superman back in 1978. This new guy, I'm willing to give him a shot.
Cool.
And that's when I graduated. That's when this happened.
There you go.
Did you notice that? I just noticed that. Since you said that.
We're back at it. Back at Superman, making another one.
Yeah.
Sounds good, Uncle.
Well,
what's going on in this crazy... I got to keep looking at TikTak.
Why did we have to look at TikTak?
Gosh, this is awfully interesting. Okay. All right. Well,
nothing's happening until we see some action with light bulbs going up. Then I'll let you know.
Only once the light bulbs start does anything actually happen. Is that
right?
Okay.
That's how it works, these things. You got to take your time.
It was like when you guys went to the barbecue place with Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre up in Calabasas or whatever. Remember that whole debacle? And Uncle, you were kind of scared about that, right? With Leatherface with the chainsaw.
Oh, wow.
Going back like a year, I think.
About that.
See the bell, Uncle?
Dang. How did he figure all this out?
I'm not sure.
Ay.
I'm just trying to keep up here.
So, what's been happening on your side of the story?
It was like a crab shack or something. You remember what I'm talking about? It was.
You're talking about Jerald Sanders. Big Jerald
Sanders. Or you can eat shrimp.
Yeah.
Or you can eat shrimp.
That.
Instead of saying Calabasas, I was like, no, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I can't remember the exact name, but you know what I'm talking about. Leatherface was right around the corner.
No, now I know what you're saying. This guy had a... Will you stop playing with my phone again? You're pounding back and forth with the phone.
I'm taking over Uncle's TikTak right now.
God dang. I'm trying to look at myself, and he's playing with this thing.
I think I know what I'm doing.
You don't know.
Well, not really, but
I know you don't know.
I'm too old to use this, Uncle. I don't know what I'm doing.
Put it down and let's see what the people are saying.
Oh, you'll get it. There you go.
So we have these about that when you was talking
Jerald
about Jerald Sanders. Now he made I could say a fool of ourselves.
He did.
Going out there, first of all, no restaurant. That gonna drive me up the wall. I'm still having to thinking about that. You got me thinking about that back. You brought that back to me, and I didn't want to even talk about it.
I'm sorry, Uncle. I'm sorry.
It's a tough subject.
I mean, that guy, he's history to me now. I was waiting for a nice, delicious shrimp dinner, and what did he do? Show a house. What is the restaurant? Now he got me running back that again.
If anybody wants to understand what we're talking about, we do have the video of where we go to Big Jerald Sanders up on the YouTube channel.
Look at the YouTube channel and you see it.
It's up at the top of it. I have it as like the main video in the page.
Does Leatherface pop out in that video? I hope so.
We saw a dog.
Yeah. We saw a dog.
We did see that.
The only animal there was the dog. Mm-hmm. If you really think of it.
No, that's not Leatherface.
That was it.
He's kind of dead there.
Dead? No, well.
That was in Landers, California. That's where we were. That's where we are a lot of times, actually. But
this was a place that they said it was a restaurant and all this and that. I just don't know how he got involved with it.
It was just up past Giant Rock. Just on the other side of Giant Rock, there's some dirt roads.
Yeah.
And it was supposedly on one of those, but no, it was just a house. We got fooled.
Well, food from him. And he really fooled us.
That guy,
I'm telling you, he bound and fooled us.
What was the special? What was the shrimp special?
There was none. And there was none. That was the big problem. What was the special was no problem. It wasn't there.
Yeah, we wanted there to be shrimp. We sure wanted that to happen.
I would to see it.
That would have been cool. I mean, it would be a tough place to keep in business out there, and that's why it was so amazing. Like, wow, they've got that going all the way out there, huh?
Yeah.
And some joker on Google Maps put a fake business in there.
It was a fake business. It's a fake business only.
Hopefully he was reported for his crimes.
Yeah, my bad. So, well,
It had to be Trump, right?
this. What? Oh.
If anybody else wants to call, we got open
Call in,
lines.
open lines open.
I'm sorry, guys. I brought up Trump.
Hey, let's show the TikTokers the phone number. I'm going to show you the phone number if you want to call in this show here. I don't know how many people are even on TikTok.
You know, I know I wasn't going to talk, but I got a crazy idea just now.
Uh-oh.
And you know what I was thinking is sometimes, now I've seen this happen locally where these people, they do this thing where they sell plates of food, right? And they just do it out of their house. And they sell plates of food. So, like, you can pre-order, and then, like, say everybody orders for a Saturday or whatever, and they get, a meal. And then people rate it and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen people sell hundreds of plates this way, right? Just out of their house.
Yeah,
there was some like that. I know there was some like that.
It's kind of like the ghost kitchen thing that got popular during the COVID era, too, is a similar idea.
Yeah, so what happened is in a couple of places, though, people, like, had this idea that they would pop up, like, a little restaurant, but it's at their house, right? And so they did this, and it confused Google Maps for a bit. I was reading about this. But what I was thinking is, the reason why the crazy idea came together is I'm thinking Uncle's TikTok videos with his weird combinations, which I still think is disgusting to put sauerkraut and tuna fish together. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, he's still got that in his mind.
I can't do it. Anyway, the thing is this, though, is if Uncle wanted to try, he could probably get a serious TikTok following if it was like Uncle's special sandwich or Uncle's special whatever. And you could sell them as plates. Now, I'm not saying you could make a living off it, but it could be a one-day fundraiser.
Yeah. I really like the idea.
One big problem
What's
with that.
What's the problem, Uncle?
We need assistance.
What,
and how we gonna have all the people in the kitchen to figuring out the equipment?
All you gotta do. No, you don't need equipment. You don't need equipment at all. All you gotta do is you set it up like a week in advance. You get one of these apps, and it does most of the work for you, and then you combine it with your TikTok, and you advertise it with the TikTok. See?
Oh, you can do that?
And then it becomes a local thing. You could put it up on X, too. You could literally, sidekick here, you guys could stream onto X and everything else from a device and show everybody, look, this is us making the special sandwich, whatever it is, you pick something special, and people can order them all this week. You can order it all the way up to Friday or whatever, and then you could do the show literally.
I'm still trying to make a meatloaf.
We're building up that. Now, look, I think the main thing with this is that I think all of these ideas are worth pursuing. I like all of them. And what I also believe is that the TikTok thing is going well. Well, what I think we're doing now is building the audience at TikTok. I think that's actually succeeding. We're past 100 subscribers now.
But I'm telling you, this has,
we're going to get them live here now.
But this has the benefit of building the TikTok and building the brand, because it could be the Uncle the Podcast special sandwich. Or whatever, or a special meatloaf, or whatever it is you want to do, and you create the meat, and you get them to pre-order, so they pre-order ahead of time. And whether it's 5 people or it's 500 people, that's another thing. You got 500 people. I mean, you might need some help, but if you're going to make 500 plates, you're going to get paid well. You can hire somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that'd be a business for me then.
But even if you go through the process and you do it, and then you deliver these things individually, you bring them a card, you bring a little piece of merch, right? This kind of thing. You show up at their door. Here you go, Uncle the Podcast meatloaf dinner for 2. Boom, drop it off. You film all that. It's content, it's promotion, and it's a possible small business in one shot. What do you think?
That's something.
Do you like that, Uncle?
It's not a bad idea, but though it's going to be a lot of work if we're going to do it that way.
But it's not that much. It's really one
day.
And
it would help you getting wrestlers on the broadcast to talk to. I really do.
it would definitely get brand new people that are not currently looking at Uncle the Podcast, because they would just
people who are already what's this demographic now you're talking about, Chuck? Like foodies, local foodies.
The demographic is people that are in your neighborhood that are interested in, you could say it's a home cooked meal, basically, right? So if you're going with meatloaf, that's what you would go for. A home cooked meatloaf by Uncle from Uncle the Podcast.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea, but the spin that I want to put on it is that the people who come know Uncle and know his food videos and know that the meatloaf is going to be an Uncle loaf, and that they're paying for that. They're not paying for like grandma's award-winning meatloaf.
No, but that's the point of the advanced advertising. They know what they're paying for. They pay for it throughout the week, all the way up to, say, a Friday or a Saturday. And then you go and you deliver it to them on a Saturday. And it's just basically for people who want some takeout food. They want Grubhub or something, but they don't want McDonald's. They don't
No, but I think you're missing the point, Chuck, Uncle. Okay. The point to me is that this is going to be an Uncle food.
Yes,
and that people have to be okay ordering that. And when they get it, like, this is something that Uncle made. This is one of the sandwiches he has for lunch. Because I know the reactions we get from callers on here and what they think about Uncle's lunch is usually your average person, if they get the Uncle Tortito sandwich, is not going to be happy. But if you know what you're signing up for, then, that's another thing. But so I think it's like a twist on what you're saying, but I think it's a unique sort of weird one.
Well, as I said, you put it in with the branding. That's why I said that part. I'm not writing the script. I'm just saying you brand it as it's the Uncle meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that way they got all the TikTok and everything else to watch. They know what they're getting into.
Yeah. Well, once again, that comes down to...
Uncle, what would you say is your specialty when it comes to food, Uncle? Like, what's the favorite thing you like to make, like, with food? Like, what do you like? What's your favorite dish?
That's... These sandwiches I usually make, mixed up with side things in them.
You like making the side.
Is it the tuna fish with the sauerkraut?
Something like that, but he don't like. I know he doesn't like them, but
there may be an audience for that.
I think Uncle's saying, like, if he did, like, tuna fish and he put the French fries in the sandwich. So tuna fish and French
something
fries.
Like that.
Like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's what it would end up being. It'd be some weird food like that. Yeah, for sure.
Something like that.
But anybody who orders that, they know what they're getting exactly, You want ketchup with that or not? You know what I mean?
I'm all for this idea. And I think we're on our way to executing things of this vein because we keep getting more viewers on TikTok. It seems like a good avenue.
It was just my thought because
if we go that direction.
Yeah, because it would put you in a different slot, right? You'd end up in the local slot. You'd end up in the food slot. You know what I mean? You end up coming up in different searches this way, plus the podcast and everything else. So it takes the brand into an area that you would have normally never gotten into. That's what I'm saying. I mean, even if you get 3 orders, it's worth it. You could film 3 deliveries, 3 orders, done. Excellent. Pays for itself.
Yeah.
All right, that was my thought. Sorry, I thought it was a bigger idea than that. But what are you going to do? Maybe.
No, I like it. It's a good idea, and I like the idea of feeding people Uncle's things.
I thought of that time.
You like that, Uncle?
That was a pretty good idea. Since I'm making it, I might as well make it and deliver it to people that want food.
We're making.
Uncle, does that sound like something you would want to do? Because right now you don't seem that excited. Which that's fair. If it's not an idea that you would want to pursue, is there another dish that you would maybe want to pursue?
Well, Uncle, you make your food videos all the time, and I want to keep making those because people love those videos.
I make them, but I forget how I make them.
Maybe
that's my problem.
Each one's its own creation.
Well, you ask them on TikTok. Ask them on TikTok what they would like. If we could offer you an Uncle sandwich locally, what would you?
Yeah, that would be that might be where I've started. You're right, Chuck. I might start it there.
Right.
What kind of sandwiches you would like on my TikTak to show you, and then I'll go from there. That way, then I can figure out what we can make and what we're going to need to make them.
Right. See, about 4 years ago, I had these guys coming to me from the local farmers, right? And they had a bunch of eggplant, and nobody in this area knew what to do with it. So they gave me, like, crates of eggplant. And I said, well, gee, I started talking on the show about how I make eggplant parmesan. I make it a certain way. It's a little different, this and that. And I had people saying, gee, I wish I lived near you. I'd come by your house and I'd try it. So,
there we go.
But I don't have any local listeners. If I had a couple of local listeners, or I thought I could get them, I would do it.
Well, guess what we don't have, Chuck?
Listeners.
Local listeners.
That's exactly
we have a couple, but we don't have enough to be sold 20 plates of food.
Yeah.
But that's the weird thing, is if you put it out on TikTok. TikTok is such a quick moving thing. And I've seen people do this locally with the short videos, where they put out that video, and that's the first time anybody's heard of it. You show them the food on the video, and you say, hey, if you're interested in this, let us know. A bunch of people say, yeah, I'll definitely sign, and you'll see. You'll get the feedback or not. It's an experiment, right?
Well, Uncle, how about this idea? Next time you do one of your food videos, you should say at the end, now, would anybody buy this from me if I was offering it? Would you come pick it up?
I might say that at the end of it.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah, I'll say it at the end of that.
There you go.
Good point. I'll say that at the end.
Ask if you buy it from the Uncle Ghost Kitchen.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you tried it, right?
Right.
I like that.
There you go.
Okay, we'll try it that way.
Well, we're going to make another food video. It's bound to happen.
Well, I'm still waiting on the meatloaf, though.
Well, we're also building up to that, because that's going to be a real good video. I want to also... Look, we're acting like we're not succeeding at TikTok here. We are. We're doing really good. Oh, here comes another call.
Hold it. We got a caller. Hold on to that thought. Hold on line, and you're on the air with the Uncle Band.
Yeah, Uncle, this is a customer from Northern California, Danny. I appreciate your TikTok videos. I'm a huge
We got
fan.
one live from
I
you
like
tonight.
rice. I've never seen anybody put rice on a sandwich. I was inspired.
Oh, that's that rice. That was the one that your Mrs. Sidekick was talking about. Don't take my game rice.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get some experience.
Forbidden rice got used on a sandwich.
Please.
Yeah.
I never gave that a thought. I mean, I was raised with 3 Asian cultures, and rice was a staple, but I never thought about putting that in a sandwich. And like I said, my imagination took off. Thank you.
There we go.
Now I bet you made one, huh? No, since you've seen that.
I haven't yet. I'm gonna have.
I'm surprised.
Everybody's out of the house, because the look I'm gonna get from my wife will be classic. It will be classic, because she's like, it's like, where'd you get that from? And I'd have to explain everything. So, yeah. So, hey, Uncle, and maybe Chuck would like a little bit of this conversation too. I think we're around in the same age category. Did you enjoy cartoons as a child?
Oh, yeah. The best one I liked? I can tell you the best one I liked. Well, there was 2. The one is, of course, the Scooby one. And the other one was the Bugs Bunny on the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And the coyote, man, he had him going crazy, up and down. He couldn't figure him out. He couldn't even do it.
Now,
He couldn't even control that man.
You know what's strange, Danny, is that Uncle might be in the age bracket before Saturday morning cartoons was a thing, where they played it on different times, like on the weekends and stuff, but it wasn't the Saturday morning blocks that you and I grew up with on broadcast TV.
Yeah. Now Saturday mornings, that was my brother and I. We were close in age, and we always called Saturday mornings was Super Saturday, and Scooby was always Saturday mornings.
Mine
The
too.
Roadrunner was generally after school TV, and I like Dick Tracy and Bullwinkle. Those were usually I'd catch those on the weekends.
There was another one. I like the bunny and the heck, and the one with the guy with the bald-headed Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I got this here. Got something here, and watch it. Boom! Everything blows up, and he goes out of the line, off the line.
Right.
He goes off the line, and so now that'll be the next step. So,
Indeed.
Now,
what is this now?
You're talking about Elmer Fudd, and that kind of reminds me of the rural farming community, and there was a lot of hunting and guns.
Right. Hunting guns.
I got a little older with the hunters. There was a lot of folks that remind me of Elmer Fudd, but the thing was, it was a little more adult. They always seemed to be involved with alcohol and guns and hunting. It was not a good combination. It was about that mentality.
What was that? Somebody got dying.
We definitely hear your sounds this week, don't we, Uncle?
Somebody's dying somewhere.
Somebody's dying somewhere.
I got sound effects. Sorry.
This was something I caught on with my children. So this was in the early 80s, mid 80s. And it was probably the first anime one that I saw on regular TV. And it was called Robotech. Did you ever see that one? You were younger. You might have caught on to that one. I just happened to be a young adult with children. Do you know that cartoon, Chuck?
Yeah, I remember Robotech. Vaguely. Yeah.
Vaguely. Yeah, that one always stuck out with me because I have grandchildren. They like the anime, and it just brought up those memories. I just didn't know. I figured you were that age that you would catch on to that.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Robotech.
See, I lived through a pretty interesting time period because if you remember, I mean, like there was the Filmation stuff, which was really crappy animation, really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were rerunning the stuff from the 40s and the 50s, you know, like the Bugs Bunnies and all that. But they played those super blocks on Saturday. That was the big deal. You know, you want me to bring Chris back on the line, Uncle, for this? For the cartoons?
Yeah.
He's gonna talk about this.
Yeah, I'll bring Chris back on for the cartoons, too. There we go. All right, everybody's on the line. Everybody went quiet. Okay.
Yeah, I know Chris. He's good at dates and memory and everything. So, Chris, was there a favorite cartoon you grew up there that maybe Uncle and we can all relate to that sticks out to you as you're part of your childhood or early adulthood or your third or fourth childhood like I'm going through?
I have to say that, and it may show that I'm pretty immature, but it was something called Liquid Television that was on MTV back in the day when MTV had pretty cool stuff. And it was the precursor to Beavis and Butthead and things like that.
I know that show. It was Indie Animations is what that show was. So a lot of even student projects made on that show. I love that show. That was cool.
No, I didn't.
I never.
That was a good one. Eon Flux was on it. That was one of the more popular ones on it.
Eon Flux, the Head, and the Max. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. All of those ended up getting short-lived series on MTV, but yeah, I love that show.
And Beavis and Butthead has been rebooted like 4 times now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This other
you guys
one
remember
about
Duckman? Do you remember Duckman with Jason Alexander?
Yes, I remember that. Wasn't that on the USA Network?
It was on you remember, yeah, it was on USA Network, and I actually I tweeted Jason Alexander about him not coming back to voice Duckman for the Duckman video game, And he was calling me like all kinds of anti-liberal slurs and everything, and I had nothing to do with politics, and I still have it saved. It was the oddest thing. Like, he thought I was trying to attack him or something. And I just remembered it from my childhood, from like 1994 on the USA Network. And he had this real like weird reaction about just me asking a question why he didn't return to voice the video game. And I never could understand like why he was so irate about it.
There was this other cartoon I got interested in. It was about a rooster and a little boy. And he says, "Let me listen here, little boy."
You're talking about Foghorn Leghorn.
Wait a minute. Is that?
It's another one of the Looney Tunes.
A Looney Tune show, a Looney Tune cartoon. And he's saying, "Listen here, boy. I'm going to show you how to do this." And he going on talking, and the rooster and him talking together. It's a riot.
Yeah.
You hear about that one?
But you're talking about Foghorn Leghorn trying to tell the other rooster how to pick up chickens, or are you talking about the one where the little one is the chicken hawk?
Yeah, the chicken hawk.
The little kid. Yeah, he sounded like a little kid chick.
Legging chicken. Give me advice of things. And he trying to find out. He ain't going on. I got a kick out of them talking about that. You hear about that one? You know that one, right?
Yeah. Now, I know we're all different demographics and ages, but one that was really big through our childhood was Speed Racer after school. I remember we would be playing Little League Baseball, but we would all there'd be a whole bunch of kids we'd gather in my house, and we'd watch Speed Racer where we'd go play Little League. Any of you had that experience, that was the hot item as in your childhood?
I did. It was actually on MTV on Saturday mornings at like 4 a.m, and I would get up super early just to watch it. And it was the old Japanese Speed Racer. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So was Speed Racer originally from Japan? Is that?
Yeah, the MTV got the rights somehow in the early '90s, and they were playing it. Literally, it was like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I would get up at like that time, and MTV had the weirdest animation. And not that Speed Racer was weird, but they had all kinds of other animation that you wouldn't expect. But Speed Racer was one of them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. See,
I remember it being on some channel. I forget which one. Yeah, and it was the Japanese one, like you're saying. I do remember.
I remember Speed Racer.
I find that interesting because when they were playing Speed Racer, there was and it definitely was a Japanese show, and it had, the English, was dubbed in. It was Ultraman, and I remember
Ultraman and Thunderbirds at the same time.
Yeah, and matter of fact, now, as I've gotten older, and we end up getting together with childhood friends for like a somebody passes, and there's a celebration of life, we get up and talk about us all watching Speed Racer and Ultraman and gathering at whose house and episodes. And another thing too, did any of you ever see the original Simpsons? And knew where that came on.
Yes.
The early Simpsons episodes from the 90s we're talking about, Danny?
Well, they were first on the Tracey Ullman.
There's that too.
They were shorts on the Tracey Ullman show, and then
and Homer Simpson sounded like Walter Matthau.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
He still sounded a lot like Walter Matthau when they gave him their first special, which I think was a Christmas show. Was the first one they ran on air.
It was 1990. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing it premiered on the Tracey Ullman, and I never, how many seasons have they been running that show? I mean, it was,
like 30 now.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's like the longest running TV show, period. Like the longest running scripted TV show ever, I think now.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's been a bit too long.
But I remember I was there because I remember the Fox lineup. It was Married with Children, the Tracey Ullman Show, 21 Jump Street, In Living Color, Herman's Head. I remember exactly the late 1980s. And Byron Allen had a talk show at the time, and he had people on like Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. He had Roseanne. He had Sam Kinison on. And, Fox was like the brand new network in 1986.
Well,
I remember that.
They were really bizarre at first. They had some very strange, short-lived stuff. They had a show called Women in Prison. They did. Yep. I'm not kidding.
And they had Wolfen, which was a werewolf show.
Yep. They did that.
Yeah. I don't remember those shows, but I do remember the Simpsons, and just every now and then if I see Tracey Ullman, her big line now is, "Hey, I gave birth to the Simpsons."
You wouldn't be wrong. Yeah.
I think she's right. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so I know that we had, so we're still doing the TikTok live stream here, Uncle, and I had somebody watching this, and they can't hear us. Uh-oh. It's because we don't have the podcast audio hooked up to this. We just have whatever the phone is doing, goofballs. So, I don't know how many people are
connected to
it. Aaron, do you still have the listeners at the German pub from back in the day?
Chuck, that's your area of expertise. Do we have them there? Are they listening today?
I haven't done my international check yet, but I'll get on it now.
I know that there are regular listeners to not just this show, but the entirety of the Ochilli Radio Network. Some pub in Germany.
Oh, that's his side.
Puts it on. I would love. We should get over.
I remember something about like a German bar like that was like they were always having the Ochilli Network. I remember something about that, like going back maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, they've been listening now. According to what I see on the stream, our regular listener in Germany has been there for 4.5 hours.
Listening to us?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tonight, right? So they were listening to all the live shows tonight? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they started listening a little before I went live, and now they've caught the past 3 hours plus. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to know this. I want to go over there. That would be such like a cool documentary for us to do. It's like we're going to Germany. We're going to this bar. We're going to find out what the story is. We're going to talk to them.
I would love that.
What's going on here?
I watched that.
Passports?
Yeah, we need passports for that one.
Where the bar is in Germany?
That's right.
Where's the bar located in Germany?
Only thing I only ever got one email. I was asking for like a year. Where is this German listener? And Uncle wanted them to call in, and I started asking for like a year. Hey, you're listening to us in Germany. Let us know why and why you're on there, because they were on there sometimes. They left it on for a week. The network, I could see.
Wow.
So beyond like 7 days. And I'm going, look, just, send me an email, tell me. And the only thing I ever got was that it's like a pub restaurant.
So they did respond to you. You asked and they sent a response.
I got one response in English, which was that it's a pub restaurant. That's it.
Well, that's good news.
You're international.
It is a response that they're actually responding.
And it is a restaurant. One thing I've heard of.
Yeah.
You get some sauerkraut or something if you go over there.
Yeah, with tuna fish. Hey, you did a TikTok video of the something that's been really popular in California for the last couple decades is the fires there. Where you're located with the airdrops, and
we did a few of them. Matter of fact, I did one recently.
That's what he's talking about. He saw that video.
We saw that video. We saw that video that we did recently.
Yeah.
Up there.
Now, how far are you from the Taliban's Indian reservation? They've got a huge casino there. Yeah, Cabazon.
Right. And that we've been doing some of them too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was proud of that video. I thought, first of all, it was funny, like all the videos, but also the footage we got of the dumping that red powder stuff.
Oh, yeah, the red powder stuff. That came out pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
We were kind of lucky to be there at the right time to catch that. And
caught that just the right time when we got there.
Yeah.
Two quick producer's notes here, real fast. One is that Creative Accidents is asking where Sef the Poet is. And the other one is that we're down to about the last 10 minutes, guys.
10 minutes. I've been watching the clock here. 1:30, 1:40. Yeah,
well, I'll answer the question about Seth. Seth was my coworker. I have a different job. I haven't been in contact with him. I should probably try to reach out to him online and maybe invite him back on the show.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
I could do that. I could get a hold of him. I could
get him, do that, and see what's going on with him.
It has been a long time since we've talked to him. And, yeah, Seth is always cool to have on the show. And he's a good person to, I mean, he was my coworker. He was a great coworker, so.
Maybe he knows about the TikTak too. Does he know about this?
If he doesn't, we need to make him aware. Everybody needs to be aware of the TikTak. And yeah, thank you, Danny, for bringing it up. It's Uncle the Podcast on TikTok. We're doing well with it.
Yeah.
It's growing. It's growing.
It's picking up. I keep telling Sidekick here, give it time. For Pete's sakes. Give it time. He's worrying about it dropping out, and it's picking up. That it's dropping. It's doing this up and down thing.
There's a lot of up. Sometimes it does up and down.
But the people gotta hear it.
They do.
You see, and that's what I think the problem is.
It is a problem. Yeah, Uncle, should we go do a round of shout-outs with everybody here since we're at the end of the show? Or?
End of the show already.
Well, we're getting toward the end. What do you think? Are we there?
All right, let's get shout-outs out.
I think we should do those, yeah.
Okay, who was the first one? Chris first.
Yeah.
And Danny.
Chris, who would you like to shout out to?
Shout out to you guys because I was looking forward to this all week, and I'm just glad that you guys are doing your show, and I'm just happy to be a part of it tonight, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for calling, Chris. It's great to have you. Then the only other caller is Danny.
Danny, you're up now.
My shout out is the way your TikToks are inspiring me, Uncle, because you did the weeding, and I've got an area of crushed granite. It's overplayed. I thought it would. It's overplayed with weeds, and I don't got the file out.
So you're going to work on that now, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, I got to work on the weeding, and it inspired me. I go, okay, that's on my bucket list to do this weekend as far as my tour, just to check that area there.
Uncle, you're truly an influencer. You influenced Danny to go weeding.
You are influencing me to do the weeding, not poisoning. Just get out.
I'm just telling you something, Danny. I'm just tired of seeing weed popping up where it's not supposed to be. And these guys use this kind of machine, push pull, trying to think the root's gonna come up.
Well, funny enough,
I gotta take it with the hand in my tool and pop it up in the dirt.
Uncle, you know what's funny is that the machine you refer to, I literally used on decomposed granite that Danny's saying he has a problem with. I was actually using this machine Uncle is saying. It's the weeding hoe.
Yeah.
I find that works really good on we have pretty big open areas with that DG, and it tears up the weeds. But you don't like that tool, Uncle.
Not unless to get the root up. I still think the root's down there. For some reason. I just have that feeling because it's not pushing.
It's not pushing, huh?
Up. But with the hand that I got, that little one, I put it in the dirt, and you see it. You see the root.
Well, there we go. Yeah.
That's my reason.
Danny knows how to do it the right way because he saw your video. That's the important thing.
Yeah. I got
you need one of those tools too, if you don't have one.
I don't bound up, and because I got dogs, and I don't need them walking on it, and and eventually going skin, causing every sucker. So
he's like the neighbor over here. Shoot the Roundup, and that's the end of it.
There you be careful of that.
Oh, yeah.
Better watch that Roundup. That's poison.
There's a lot of unintended consequences, so I'm trying to avoid the unintended consequences.
Yeah, that's the consequence.
There we go. Danny knows, Uncle. He knows all about that.
So now what you got to do is try to find a tool if you want to do it this way.
Yeah.
Get the tool.
Yeah, I got a flat shovel and I got the file, so I'll have it all sharpened up.
It's like a fork. Stick out.
Yeah, I saw that.
2 fork in a pump in the back, where the pump in the back's pushing the dirt and the weed up. That's what you need.
Yeah, you're getting right at the root. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Get to the root and get it out of there.
Yeah, get it out.
That's what you need to do. That's what I'm trying to explain.
He's got it. Yeah. Thank you for the shout out to us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for the shout out.
Anybody else you want to say a shout out to, or that it?
Chuck, want one?
Oh.
Well, I'll give a shout out to Creative Accidents for joining us. Haven't seen you in a while. And also shout out to Jimmy James, because haven't seen you in a bit, man. Don't know where you are, but hope he's all right.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
that's unusual not to see him.
Not to see him, he's usually the first one talking.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there you go. And also shout out to Germany, Canada, UK, and across the USA, who is all listening to Uncle the Broadcast. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Uncle, should we give shout outs?
Good.
I will give a shout out to everybody who is following the TikTak, the Uncle the Podcast TikTok. I'll give a shout out to you I'll pick up your phone, Uncle. Hey, shout out to you who's watching this now. Whoever others that just joined. If this video isn't the best, it's because it's behind the scenes, okay? But shout out to you. We appreciate you.
I'm going to hit this too.
What are you shouting out, Uncle? Are you going to hold the phone? There you go. Talking to the phone.
Shout out to this TikTak.
Shout right into it. I'm
shout out to all of those customers that listen to me. Can you also pull out a hat and get some more listeners from your guys' side?
You're talking to TikTok?
For TikTak.
We need a street team.
For you guys. A street team.
Become a part
of this TikTak.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, then of course we have the social media channels, not just TikTok, but was it YouTube, Instagram, Twitter X, Twitch, Kick, at Uncle Podcast. Those UncleThePodcast.com is the website. We're live on the Ochilli Radio Network every Friday. Uncle, why don't you bring us home for the week here?
370. Bye bye.